What's a short, clean joke that gets a laugh every time?
Not exactly a joke, but we're the only place in the whole universe where ice cream exists. Bonus points, we're missing out on other aliens' ice cream. That makes me sad. She was pure as snow but drifted. Why can't Stevie Wonder see his friends? Because he's married. Skeleton walks into a bar. He says, "Give me a beer and a mop." A pirate walks into a bar with a steering wheel on his crotch. Doesn't that hurt? The bartender asks. The pirate says, "Yeah, it's driving me nuts." Probably my all-time favorite joke. What's the opposite of Christopher Reeves? Christopher Walken. Two hunters are out in the woods when one of them collapses. He doesn't seem to be breathing and his eyes are glazed. The other guy whips out his phone and calls the emergency services. He gasps, "My friend is dead. What can I do?" The operator says, "Calm down. I can help. First, let's make sure he's dead." There is a silence, then a shot is heard. Back on the phone, the guy says, "Okay, now what? You? Me? Hold up 2 fingers. Say you know why women should masturbate with these 2 fingers?" They reply, "No, why?" Say, "Because they're mine." How do Mexicans cut their pizzas? Little Caesars. Why did Fred fall off his bike? Fred is a fish. Do you know why the sky is blue? Because if it was green you wouldn't know where to stop mowing. Back-to-back pirate jokes. Q, have you heard about the new pirate movie? Them, no A, it's rated RRRR. Then follow up quickly with, Q, what's a pirate's favorite letter of the alphabet? Them, RRRR. A, no. It be the C. A dictator walks into a bar and orders everyone around. 2 drums and a cymbal fell off a cliff. Bar dum TSS. What do you call cheese that isn't yours? When the person starts to respond, nacho cheese, loudly shout at them, stolen, and I want IT back. What does a fish say when he hits a wall? Damn. My missus told me to stop me impersonating flamingos. I put my foot down. When you clean a vacuum cleaner, you become a vacuum cleaner. I blew my fortune on pasta. It was worth every penny. I hope everyone who makes puns dies painfully. What did the drummer name his 2 daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2. A horse walks into a bar. The bartender looks at him and says, "Why the long face? Did you hear about the guy who lost his whole left side? He's alright now." What do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea. What do you call a deer with no eyes or legs? Still no idea. 2 guys walk into a bar. The third one ducks. What do you give an elephant with diarrhea? Plenty of room. A man sees his neighbor painting orange stripes on his lawn and asks him why. The neighbor responds, "To keep the tigers away." "But we live in Michigan, the nearest tiger is 3,000 miles away," the man exclaims. The neighbor smiles and says, "You're welcome." Then I said he was no lawyer, he was the president. Afterwards laugh really loud and watch them laugh with you. Did you hear about the 2 antennas that got married? The ceremony was boring, but the reception was great. What do you call an illegally parked frog? Toad. 2 guys walk into a bar, second one should have ducked. Knock knock, who's there? It's the police. "Mom. Your son has been hit by a drunk driver. He's dead." What's the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? One you will see later while the other you'll see in a while. What is the leading cause of dry skin? Towels. A skeleton walks into a bar and asks for a beer and a mop. Build a man a fire and he'll be warm for a night. Set a man on fire and he'll be warm for the rest of his life. What sound does a 300-pound bird make? Chirp. Let's go fishing in the sea. Whatever for? Just for the halibut. I'm thirsty. It's not Thursday, it's Tuesday. What's blue and tastes like red paint? Blue paint. The composer of the Hokey Pokey died. Took them 4.5 hours to get him into his coffin. They put his right leg in, they pulled his right leg out, they put his right leg in, and they shook it all about. What are Mario's clothes made of? Denim, denim, denim. Saving this thread. Great. A man walked into a bar. Ouch. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7 ate 9. What was Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. A skeleton walks into a bar, orders a beer and a towel. A blind person walks into a bar, then into a chair, then into a table. What kind of pants do the Mario Brothers wear? Denim. A skeleton walks into a bar and says to the bartender, "Yeah, I'll have a draft and a mop please." You want to hear a joke? My life. Kevin Hart. This is a very specific one, but in 20 years of telling it, it has never not gotten a laugh of note. I'm a type 1 diabetic. People frequently ask me if there's anything I can't eat. I respond the only things I can't eat as a type 1 diabetic are poison, a line that prompts an eye roll, and cookies. I then pause until I see understanding on their face. Something like, "Oh, that's understandable." But then I finish the joke, "Cookies that have been poisoned." How do you know if someone's a pilot? Don't worry, they'll tell you. Speech 100. Did you hear about the Chinese godfather? He made them an offer they couldn't understand. What's green and hangs in the jungle? Elephant snot. This is my favorite Ask Reddit post for sure. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. Do you like fish sticks? You're a gay fish. Home is where the home is. Before I met my wife I was incomplete, now I'm finished. Norm Macdonald. 2 peanuts are walking down the street. One was assaulted. The bad thing about being retired is, you never get a day off. I've always wanted to have a suitcase handcuffed to my wrist. Works best when the subject of pirates comes up, especially if Sunshine says R, as it will lead them perfectly in one. What's a pirate's favorite letter to? R1. Best said in a piratey accent. No, you think it's the R but it's actually the C. I once went to the hospital because I broke my left arm. The doctor told me I would be alright for a while. These are ones I've heard from kids, and bird-themed, but why do ducks have tails? To cover their butt quacks. Why did the chicken cross the road? BKROs. You know, if you take this soda tab off the can and bend it in half and hold it up to your lips, you can make a duck sound. They're always intrigued. Take the soda tab off, bend it in half and hold it up to your lips. They'll be watching closely, because how on earth can a soda tab make a duck noise? Just scream quack. Works every time. Where do you find a dog with no legs? Right where you left them. A penguin walks into a bar and asks the barman, "Was my brother in here earlier?" The barman replies, "I don't know. What does he look like?" My friend's grandpa worked in a clown shoe factory for 40 years. It was no small feat. How do you think the unthinkable? With an iceberg. Did you hear about the 2 peanuts who wandered into a rough part of town? One was assaulted. Only if you look up the word. But did you hear about the philatelist who got a bad rap? They got stamped with all sorts of labels. I quite like I'm the most humble man alive. I asked a builder if I could have a skip outside my house, and he said, "I'm not stopping you." Did you hear about the kidnapping at the school? Everything's fine now, the teacher woke him up. What do you call a dog that does magic? A labracadabrador. What's the difference between in-laws and outlaws? Outlaws are wanted. A snail was attacked by a group of turtles. The police arrived, asked the snail what happened. The snail said, "I don't know, it all happened so fast." Ah yes. The Reddit biannual dad joke symposium. Why does Barbie never get pregnant? Because Ken always comes in another box. A man goes to the doctor. "Doctor, people keep telling me I'm hard to understand." "Nonsense," says the doctor, "the weather's fine." What kind of shoes do ninjas wear? Sneakers. Did you hear about the magic tractor? It went down the lane and turned into a field. By cost. If they are a programmer or some other IT person, I'd tell you a UDP joke, but you might not get it. Cowboy walks into a car dealership. Audi. Works best if you say it when you see an Audi car. Most memes that aren't dead and kinda known to the environment you are in. Why should you keep a dog in the attic? Velcro, what a rip-off. What do you call a man with no shins? Tony. It feels more like now than it ever has. What do you call cheese that isn't yours? Nacho cheese. Why do elephants paint their toenails red? So they can hide in cherry trees. What's the difference between a fiddle and a violin? Beer stains. Did you hear about the award-winning Scarecrow? He was outstanding in his field. Terrible news this morning about the poor guy who drowned in his muesli. Yeah, he was pulled under by a strong current. What do you find in the head on a pirate ship? Captain's log.